Hello, I am Mr. Orange and this is video hashtag 459. In this video I will be talking about Winx Season 3 Episode 10. AKA is the episode where Musa gets her Enchantix. But before we get into this video, make sure to like, share and subscribe. Also happy Pride Month, I hope everyone gets to be their true authentic self. So we start off with the Ray intro. I don't mind the Ray intro, but I do prefer the Focus one more. To recap, in the previous episode, the Winx frees Sky from the dark spell. In the next scene, Stella is stressing over Brandon. That's because in the last episode, Brandon was arrested by the royal guards. I don't feel too bad for her. I do, but she should know that Brandon can handle himself. In the next scene, Flora prepares tea for her friends to chill them out. You gotta love Flora for making her teas. Seeing Flora prepare her tea makes me want to prepare tea for myself as well. I am British, I do fit that stereotype of loving tea. By the way, tea isn't only a British stereotype either. It's also a South Asian stereotype. Tea is known in South Asian culture. I am Bengali, which is a South Asian race. We are known for having tea most of the time. So yeah, I love tea. I also like to have tea with biscuits. Usually to dunk them in and having them is really nice. But there is a reason why I bring up the information about biscuits. There is a scene that I find intriguing. It's where Kiko holds up a donut. It could be a donut, but it could also be a ring-shaped biscuit. And if it is a ring-shaped biscuit, I think it might be the coconut ring or maybe the party rings. But it most likely looks like a donut. But either way, Kiko dips his donut in tea, which made me think it was a biscuit because it's not common to dip donut in tea. But I do think there are people who do that. It's more common to dip a biscuit in tea. In the next scene, we have Walter and the Tricks. They're just not vibing with the hideout in Andros. So the villains are looking for a new hideout. I was excited when Stormy mentioned Lord Darker's old hideout. I bet that inspires a lot of fan fiction. I want someone to make that a thing. I also would love a fan fiction where all the villains are teaming up together. Kind of like what they did in My Little Pony, but not as stupid. We then get a fun scene. It's where three wolves disguised by the Tricks chase a deer disguised by Valtor. I got to say, I do love the design of the wolves disguised by the Tricks. The witches of Cloud Tower see this and they invite the deer in to protect it. But of course the witches get tricked. They should have known better. The wolves are clearly the Tricks based on their colour. I do like the design of the witch that called the deer in. I wonder if she's a witch of sound or music because she has headphones, which makes me think she is. Kind of similar to Musa. In the next scene, Valtor imprisons Griffin and takes over Cloud Tower. This is actually 3 of the 4 times that Cloud Tower is conquered. In Season 1, the Tricks conquer Cloud Tower as they take over magics with the Army of Decay. In Season 2, Cloud Tower is taken over again when the Tricks try to look for the Codex. This is the 3rd time the Cloud Tower gets taken over. In Season 6, Cloud Tower is taken over again for the last time. From this date, we don't see Cloud Tower afterwards. I've got to say, I do love Griffin in her younger age. However, looking at Valtor and Griffin's backstory, it has me so many questions, well 2 mainly. Why did Griffin join forces with Valtor and what caused her to change? It's raining in Althea and Faragona puts up the magic barrier. It does make me wonder if a villain could dig their way through Althea. We then have army of witches invading Althea. By the way, I forgot to mention this. I wish Valtor took over Red Fountain as well. Maybe Valtor could have some use with the weaponry. I do like that for the first 3 seasons, at least one episode is horror themed. In season 1, we had the episode based on the Nightmare Monster. In season 2, we had the Halloweenx. And in season 3, we have a zombie apocalypse. So in the next scene, Valtor finally faces Faragonda. And together they battle it out like a real anime. It's truly a good moment. I also love Faragonda for being a kick-ass. What I love about Faragonda is despite being old, she has the strength to defend herself. I loved it when she knocked Valtor down with the trees. But unfortunately, Valtor is too powerful for her, and I think he turned her into a tree. I do like that everyone is stepping up to fight the witches. Like the Winx girls are taking part, the background fairies are taking part, and the Enchantix girls are taking part. And of course, the background fairies are going to defend Althea. Unlike if you have to fast forward in the future seasons where the fairies don't fight back. I think Unicorn of War made that point in one of his videos. I also love everyone's fairy design of Magic Winx. They all look awesome. I personally don't like Myrta's fairy outfit. I would have preferred it if it was in black, not pink. I just don't think the pink outfit suits her. The fairies' outfits are so beautiful. It really makes me think that Magic Mix is truly the best transformation. It's also tailored to everyone's personality, is unique. With the help of the background fairies, Palladium creates a new dome. I much prefer this one. I like the green color. I also love that every fairy is putting the effort. Unfortunately, the barrier doesn't stop the tricks from coming in. And then they encounter Galatea, the Princess of Melody. I will say I like that Galatea in the raid-up has a Scottish accent. I wish they kept the Scottish accent in the other dubs. It shows that the characters have diversity in their accent. This is the same way I feel about Tekna's English accent in the Fockers dub and Whiskey's Irish accent in the Ray dub. The tricks blackmail Galatea to lead them to the Hall of Enchantment. If she doesn't, Icy will break her wings. Then Galatea does a cute thing by sending a signal to Musa. This is what they do in Melody. It's a crime that Musa never did this before. After Galatea pranking the tricks, Icy does the most traumatic thing ever. She actually breaks Galatea's wings. I wonder if Galatea has PTSD now. The tricks almost finish her off, but luckily we have the Winx to defend her. So the Winx fight the tricks, and Musa tries to help Galatea to the nurse. I bet the nurse doesn't get paid enough for this. So as the Winx were about to defeat the tricks, Darcy sets fire to the library. I wonder how she did this because she's not a witch of fire. My theory is that one of the books must have set the fire. Like if you fast forward into season 5, we have episode 4 where Techno tries to search for the Sirenix book, but she opens random books, setting up random disasters. That's what I guess what happened here. As the library keeps burning, there's nothing the Winx could do to put the fire out. They all decide to evacuate the fire. Honestly, they need Layla or a fairy with Enchantix, so they can put it out with the fairy dust. And for no good reason, Galatea goes back into the library in the fire. Musa tries to go back in to rescue her. As she attempts to save her, Musa earns her Enchantix. But I do have an issue of how Musa earns her Enchantix. I said this before, but I will say it again. Musa didn't technically save Galatea to earn Enchantix. Both Galatea and Musa were still burning in the fire. What I would have loved if Musa maybe created a protective shield or a barrier around them. That at least could have told me why Musa could have earned Enchantix. I also wanted to add, while this episode is where Musa earns her Enchantix, it wasn't really an episode about her. It was more of an episode about Cloud Tower and Althea. So it feels like they thought about Musa in the last minute. You kind of can see that like where Stella earns her Enchantix is more of a blue episode, but you can at least see like Stella has many moments in that episode. So I would critique that they didn't think about Musa in this season all that much. So Musa Enchantix is really beautiful. The reds, the golds and the purples are nicely incorporated. I also like her transformation sequences, especially where she wraps the purple ribbon around her body. I wish they didn't cut that part out in the 4Kids version. Be aware that I am biased when it comes to 4Kids. I just wish they did cut stuff out in the transformation sequences. And with her fairy dust, Musa takes away the dark fire. She also uses fairy dust to bring back Galatea's wings. I also wish in 4Kids they kept the fairy dust sequences too. So the zombie witches return back to Cloud Tower. But the Winx can't celebrate yet because they're gonna have to find Farragonda. And that's exactly what they'll be doing in the next episode. However, I won't be covering that episode. If you understood this by now, I'm reviewing every Enchantix episode. And the next one up is Flora, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and have a lovely day.